This episode feels like a darker time in the world of House of the Dragon. The Targaryens burn their dead with dragons when their time passes, so the Valyrians commit their dead to the sea.
Enembar masti, ba embryot amozil.
This was one of the first scenes that we filmed. It's interesting to see it at this point in the story because they didn't really know each other that well, and they do feel a bit estranged or on different pages. Everybody's here in this alien place at a funeral, and nobody really knows how to feel or act, and it works really well for the episode because it does just set everybody apart in a way.
It's a very long scene. I think there's about 5 different kind of little stories happening in a set of about 40, 50 people.
They haven't seen each other since he banished him again for robbing his daughter's innocence and saying horrible things to him. But Viserys has gone through some stuff and his health is failing, and I think he's feeling more like he wants family around him now than he probably was when he sent Daemon away.
It's time that you came home. Brother.
The multitude of conversations are really about a family that has been somewhat blown apart, trying to find solace in each other, trying to a certain extent to forgive each other for all their past wrongdoings. And yet, in the center of that is Rhaenyra and Daemon. Here they are together, both having lost someone, both grieving, and the chemistry between them is as strong as before.
There's a kind of massive, unprocessed, unresolved boulder in the room. Abandonment is something that just seems to happen on repeat to her. It happens with her mum, it happens with her dad, it happens with Alicent, it happens with Daemon. And looking that wound in the eye, I think, is what happens in this scene. Rhaenyra and Daemon are made of the same stuff. It's why they're a terrible match. Added to which, when Rhaenyra is made heir, she essentially takes everything from Daemon. And yet her attraction goads her to go to the heart of that envy. I think there's a dangerous chemistry.
We really did want to dramatize the claiming of a dragon, and this little kid on the biggest dragon in the world felt like the best way to do that. He's the only kid on that side without a dragon, and he desperately wants one, and he's been picked on and bullied for not having one. So I think he finds himself at this funeral feeling alone and detached, and sees an opportunity and then goes and seizes it.
Aemon is quite an introverted, sad kid who's gone through many hardships. Obviously, when he gets that dragon, his mood changes and he feels like he can do anything he wants. And that's where that villain comes into play.
It's him.
It's me.
Vhagar is my mother's dragon.
Vhagar has a new rider now.
There's a lot of tension between those two sides of the family, and this is one of the ways that it boils over. That's their mother's dragon. They grew up their whole life around that dragon, and to see somebody from the other side claim it at her funeral, I think it's a real slight.
It's not something normal. It's 5 kids absolutely battering each other. It's mental.
It's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye.
Rhaenyra comes into the Hall of Nine, and suddenly there's a clarity. The greens and the blacks just solidify in a way that they hadn't done before.
Who did this?
Don't touch me! He attacked
Enough! Silence!
He's a leaner Daemon. I always liked the idea that he sort of leans. It felt like he was happy to watch them all implode.
It's a strange thing because his son's had his eye taken out in a fight with his daughter's children. Again, family stuff, you know. Viserys has a soft spot and an affection for Rhaenyra. And even that affects his marriage, that he doesn't stand up for his own children.
For Alicent, it's finally boiling over all these years of playing that proper, I will not express myself emotionally in any way, shape or form, and she loses her shit. And it's a joy to watch.
Alicent wants an eye for an eye.
Your Grace. Alicent, stay with the king! Hold your ground!
I don't think Rhaenyra is scared of violent pain, and so she's in a position to kind of goad Alicent towards the outcome she's seeking. Now they see you as you are. that place of abandonment is healed. Rhaenyra is found by Daemon, and it allows her to back herself and back her family and sort of walk straight at the accusations as opposed to trying to shield from them.
There is a shift that happens with the death of his sister. When someone you love dies, you start to think about your own life and what you want the rest of it to be. And I think he does have this moment of clarity where he goes, I'm gonna be the person that I thought I was going to be.
What Laena really wanted was to be set free. And freedom to him is freedom from the bonds of his nobility. So if he was thought to be dead, that would mean he could go live a free life however he wanted. Rhaenyra and Daemon bond together and make a marriage pact. It's Targaryen with Targaryen, and the old way is, marrying within the bloodline to keep it pure.
This consummating of their relationship brings with it all the obstacles. Suddenly, with Daemon by her side, Rhaenyra becomes more formidable. It tells us that Rhaenyra is not going away.